Welcome to part 1 of our notes on the solar system. So as we zoom in from the entire universe to the Milky Way galaxy into our solar system, we see that it's located in one of the spiral arms of our Milky Way galaxy. Our solar system consists of the sun and all of the objects that orbit or travel around the sun. The sun makes up about 99.8% of the total mass of our solar system. So our solar system itself consists of 8 planets: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. If we look at the scale of our planets, this is planet Mercury, and you can see compared to Mars, it's definitely smaller. Then Venus, much larger than Mars. Earth, slightly bigger than Venus, but close to the same size. Huge jump when we get to Neptune. Uranus, or Uranus, both are correct. Saturn. Jupiter, even bigger than Saturn. Compared to the size of the sun, there's a massive difference in size. There's Sirius A, the larger star. Arcturus, that's a red giant. Aldebaran, which we've seen on our chart. Rigel. And if we pause here, way back down there, that little yellow dot, that's our sun. Remember how much bigger our sun was than even our largest planet. The solar system itself. So to be considered a planet in our solar system, a celestial object, which is any object out in space, has to have 3 characteristics. First, it has to be in orbit around a star, like our sun. It has to have enough mass to be pulled into a stable sphere by gravity. So it has to be large enough that the gravitational force pulls it into a sphere or a round object. And it has to dominate its orbit. That means that its mass is so much greater than anything else that crosses its path that it clears all of the stuff in its path. Our solar system has 2 main types of planets. The first are the inner planets, or the terrestrial planets, and those include Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. And these are the smaller planets, and they have a hard, rocky surface. So you often hear these called the rocky planets. The next type of planet is the gas giants: Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. These planets are much bigger and are composed of gases and liquids. Many scientists think that gas giant planets may have rocky cores deep underneath their very thick atmospheres. Planets themselves are not luminous. That means they do not make their own light. They just reflect the sun's light. Even still, we can see 5 planets with an unaided eye, meaning without a telescope. And those 5 planets are Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. So this is a picture of what the planets look like with the naked eye. There's Jupiter. That little tiny dot down there is Saturn. This is not Saturn, that's the sun. The little tiny dot is Saturn. Mars, Venus. Venus is pretty bright. Our solar system also consists of smaller objects that orbit the sun. Pluto is a dwarf planet. That means it doesn't meet the new definition of a planet because it's not large enough to dominate its orbit. In fact, Pluto's orbit crosses Neptune's orbit. That means that Pluto is not the largest object that crosses its path. So here is a picture of our solar system. If you notice the inner planets, their orbits are all pretty flat as they go around the sun. And even the outer planets, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, have very sort of flat-looking orbits. And then there's Pluto. Pluto's going at that crazy angle. So you can see it's just very different from the other planets in the solar system. There are many dwarf planets in our solar system. There's still a lot to be discovered. The first dwarf planet to be discovered was Ceres, located in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. And Eris is a dwarf planet that was located past Pluto. There are currently 5 dwarf planets in our solar system and many celestial objects waiting to be confirmed as dwarf planets.